Good morning, everyone. Happy Valentine's Day. I'm Kitty Benson. I'm the minister here at Unity, and I am so glad to be having this time together with you. I know you're not sitting in Naperville with me right now, but I trust that your energy is and that my energy is with you, and I brought some other energy with me today. We got the Highest Good Band here that's going to share some music with you. Good morning. We've got a tech team of Parker and Cindy back there making all things beautiful happen online. So we're just going to spend this next hour or so together opening up our hearts and minds to the truth of our being, which is that you and I are spirit. We are spirit, and there are all things possible in our life because of that. And one of the ways that we remind ourselves of that is we sing. And the music that we sing has words that can change your mind, change your heart, change your life. So I hope you'll open up, look at the words on the screen, and sing along with us.
Good morning, everyone. Spirit withholds nothing from me. Spirit withholds nothing. Sing that again. Spirit withholds nothing from me. Spirit withholds nothing from me. Spirit withholds nothing from me. It is done as I believe. I declare joy, joy like a fountain. I declare peace, peace like a river. I declare faith, faith to move mountains. It is done as I believe. Spirit withholds nothing from me. Spirit withholds nothing from me. Spirit withholds nothing from me. It is done as I believe. Let's take that up now. Spirit withholds nothing from me. Spirit withholds nothing from me. Spirit withholds nothing from me. It is done as I believe. I declare joy, joy like a fountain. I declare peace, peace like a river. I declare faith, faith to move mountains. It is done as I believe. Yes, a spirit withholds nothing from me. Spirit withholds nothing from me. Spirit withholds nothing from me. It is done as I believe. Yes, it is done as I believe. It is done as I believe. Yes, I believe. Yes. I believe, and above all, you know what I believe in, Reverend Kitty? Everyone? I believe in that sweet love that is always with us, ever present, always with us. I think of this next song, at least whenever I sing it, feels like a love song to me, love song to Spirit. And on this Valentine's Day, let's rest in that beautiful, beautiful love. You are beautiful, my sweet, sweet song. so good to me. You heal my broken heart. You are my mother in heaven. You are beautiful, my sweet, sweet song. You are beautiful, my sweet, sweet song, yeah. You are beautiful, my sweet, sweet song. I will sing it. You ride upon the clouds. You lead me to the truth. You are the spirit inside me. You ride upon the clouds. You lead me to the truth. You are the spirit inside me. You are beautiful. You are beautiful, my sweet, sweet song. You are beautiful, my sweet, sweet song, yeah. You are beautiful, my sweet, sweet song. I will sing it. You are my strong melody. You are my dancing rhythm, yeah. You are my perfect rhyme, and I will sing of you forever. You fill me with your love. You fill me with your light. You are the one that lives through me. Yes, you fill me with your love. You fill me with your light. You are the one that lives through me. You are beautiful, my sweet, sweet song. You are beautiful, my sweet, sweet song, yeah. You are beautiful, my sweet, sweet song, and I will sing it. Sing that love song right now with me. Again, you are beautiful. You are beautiful, my sweet, sweet song, yeah. You are beautiful, my sweet, sweet song. You are beautiful, my sweet, sweet song, and I will sing it. You are the spirit around me. You are the spirit within me. You are the one that lives through me.
Some of you may know that Unity puts out a daily word. It's a beautiful devotional that you can order as an online publication, or you can get it in the mail. And every day it offers some kind of inspiration for us to keep us focused on the spiritual in our life. And I thought today's was so beautiful for Valentine's Day that I would use this as our opening prayer. Would you just close your eyes and listen to this for just a moment? The idea for today is heart expression. You are dear to me. I hold you in my heart. Sharing love is a wonderful way of discovering and responding to the divinity alive in every heart, binding us as a human family. My loving nature helps me see the best in every person whose life touches mine. Today I remember one of the legends of Saint Valentine, in which he fashioned pieces of parchment into hearts, which he gave to others as tokens of his compassion and God's love. Today the tradition continues when I say, you are dear to me. I hold you in my heart. with a card, a gift, a call, or a simple act of kindness. I share love with no expectation of reciprocation, and my heart welcomes every expression of love from others. Love's energy grows through both giving and receiving. And from John 13:34, I give you a new commandment, that you love one another. Just as I have loved you, you also should love one another. And so it is. This loving energy that we feel present in our lives is always present, everywhere present. And we speak of that presence as that which fills heaven and earth. And something that we say here every Sunday is this invocation that we'll put up here on the screen. And I'll invite you to say this with me together. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, the all-loving goodness of God. And so it is.
So we relish in this love. And before we share it, we simply allow it to move in and as and through us. Goodness to come in. I am ready to receive. I allow goodness to come in. I believe, I believe, I believe. I allow love into my life. I am ready to receive. I allow love into my life. And I believe, I believe, I believe. Welcome hope and faith. Welcome love and way. Welcome hope and faith. Welcome love and way. I allow fortune in my home. I am ready to receive. I allow fortune in my home. I believe, I believe, I believe. I allow surrender in my soul. I am ready to let go. I allow surrender in my soul. I let go, I let go, I let go. Welcome hope and faith. Welcome love and way. Welcome hope and
And that is a perfect song as usual for today. It's also been Chinese New Year this weekend, yeah?
Kung Hee Fa Choi.
Yeah, say it again.
Kung Hee Fa Choi.
Okay, thank you. And does that literally translate to Happy New Year? Or?
It does not, but it's very unity. It translates to a prosperity blessing for the new year.
Nice, I like that. Yeah. So I thought in honor of that we would hear from a Chinese philosopher, one of the greats, Lao Tzu, who came thousands of years ago to share some philosophical/spiritual wisdom. And up here on the screen for you, I thought you should just take in his words this morning. If you want to awaken all of humanity, then awaken all of yourself. If you want to eliminate the suffering in the world, then eliminate all that is dark and negative in yourself. Truly, the greatest gift you have to give is that of your own self-transformation. We're all nodding in the room here. Yep. Sorry, but it's true. It has to start with self. As a matter of fact, we've been talking about staging an awakening world here over the last few weeks because, first of all, we're creating a new stage up here in the next few weeks. But we've also been looking at what that means in consciousness to stage an awakening world. And we cannot do it if we are not going to awaken to ourselves. But when we asked ourselves what the biggest dream or vision that we could hold for the world was, if everything were perfect, what would it look like? Up here on the screen is our vision statement. It says, centered in love, we celebrate God expressing as peace, wisdom, and abundance in this awakening world. So that's what we're doing. We're awakening. And we started a couple weeks ago with the ideas of God that we must understand in order for us to know what we're awakening to. And some of the things that we talked about were some core universal truths, like God is all that is. God is everywhere present. That everything that we experience in the physical dimension actually was birthed out of a spiritual energy, a spiritual substance, a spiritual love, a spiritual intelligence. And that is always present with us. It's always expressing itself in this physical dimension, whether we can see it with our eyes or not. It is the one source of all of our good. As much as we think our job is the source of our good or our inheritance or our 401k, I promise you that nothing that we consider good could be if it weren't first coming down from the Father of lights. Here's a scripture from James chapter 1. Every good and perfect gift comes out of heaven. The gifts are rivers of light cascading down from the Father of light. Sorry. Can you read and have another thought in your mind at the same time? I was having a funny thought. Spirit and I, you probably don't know this, but Spirit and I have conversations in my head while I'm talking to you. So there was just something funny that came through, and I couldn't catch the laugh, but that's okay. So we're here talking about these universal truths, right, Spirit? And when we start from that premise, then everything that else that unfolds from that starts to reveal. It starts to awaken our human self. You see, your spirit, the true you, already knows everything that I just said. It already came in with that knowing. It understands how the universe works. It didn't come to wake up. It came to wake up your human nature. It came to train it up, to teach it how to express in this world. It's the kind of thing where, when Jesus was teaching us to pray, he was basically saying, may the spiritual dimension express here on earth as it is in heaven. And that can happen. You actually see it every day. The spiritual dimension is expressing on earth as it is in heaven when we allow it, that is. So when we came in here as a spirit being, we didn't come in here to ultimately just turn everything into spirit without the physical dimension, because otherwise we would have just stayed in the spiritual dimension. But we also didn't come in here to inhabit the physical body and have these physical experiences just to be miserable, because let's face it, that human experience can be pretty tough. It's actually a mixture. We came in here as spiritual beings to have that suffering experience for a moment, but not get caught in it, and instead teach the human self how to rise up above it and transform it. I wish you could know how valuable this experience is for your soul. I mean, they are lined up waiting to get in. Have babies, people. That's all I can say. Spirit wants to get in here and have it shot in as many different ways as it can to experience the trouble. In this world, there'll be tribulation, Jesus said, but I've overcome it. And you too can have that experience if you will remember who you really are. And that's what we're going to focus on today, is how we can transform the human experience through spiritual law. This is one of the most important and exciting things that you can awaken to as a human being, to understand what the rules are and how to play the game so that you are truly fulfilling your life as you came to do. Imagine that you've got one foot in both worlds right now, that you are both sitting in the spiritual and the human dimension at the same time. And if you can keep that in mind, you'll realize that there really are no limitations, that you can expand and expand and expand. That's why we're here, is to continue to evolve as spiritual beings, as God expressing. If God is infinite, think of where we can go in this human experience. And one of the most important rules that we speak about here at Unity is that God can't do anything for us that we can't allow God to do in our life, that we don't allow God to do in our life. And part of the reason is that that would require Spirit to break one of the universal laws. We speak of that law as the law of mind action, or the law of cause and effect, and we cannot, or Spirit cannot, overtake that will of ours that we have. The way that it's described in Jesus' language from Matthew 16 was, I will give you the keys of the kingdom of heaven. And whatever you bind on earth shall be bound in heaven, and whatever you loose on earth shall be loosed in heaven. I don't know if we ever truly know how powerful those words are, how much power we are being given. You have been given the keys. God will not overtake you. God will not change things in your life if you are not in agreement, if you do not allow. I allow love into my heart. If we put up a wall, there is no way that Spirit can get past it. We have to understand how that law works. And if many of you are thinking, I don't know that law, no one taught me that law, I don't know how to use it, I guess I can't use it. No, you're already using it. You've been using it since the minute you were born and before. That law is integrated into the system, and we cannot get around it. And that's a good thing. It's actually intended for our good. It's meant to work for all of us the same way. There is no segregation. There's no discrimination. There's no favoritism here in this law. It is available to work the same way for all of us. And it's waiting for us to put it to use. But don't worry about God having a bad mood someday and deciding you don't get the law, or I'm going to misuse the law against you. The scripture says, we talk about this all the time, that God's sun rises on the evil and the good. So just start from the premise that I have access to the law, to the full extent of the law. I have access to it. And what that law will do then, as we direct it, is it will order or organize that divine spiritual essence, substance, energy of the universe into that which our heart desires. And you know what would be cool is if we get out of its way, the divine loving intelligence of the universe will use that law for our highest good, which you can never say, but I didn't want that, because that wouldn't be your highest good, right? It would always be for your soul, your spirit's highest good. So first of all, if we get out of its way, we can trust that the divine loving intelligence of the universe will order things for us in a way that naturally brings health to the body. It naturally supplies your every need. It's that beauty of the lily that is clothed on these beautiful plants that don't even think about it. They just are. That's the way your life can be, where every resource is supplied without you even struggling, if you can align your consciousness with that law. And also to trust that love will be everywhere you go. It will meet you around every corner. That all things will work together for your highest good if you get out of the way. Now, this if you get out of the way thing is a bit of a question mark, yes? How do we get out of the way? We get in the way every time we differ from the universal heart, from the universal mind. Every time we live and think and feel differently, out of alignment, out of sync, in the negative, differently than how Spirit knows this universe to be. And we can actually influence the results of our life contrary to what Spirit knows is for your highest good and is willing to give you. You can actually override Spirit with your own point of view. Whatever you bind on earth will be bound in heaven. That is some power. I wish we could awaken to that right now. I wish everybody had a full blast awakening of, wow, there's that power. What is it that I want to create today? Most of us are sleepwalking, and yet we're still measuring it out to ourselves. Jesus said that the measure you give will be the measure you receive. So just know that you're using it all the time. The question is it really working for you? And if not, then we need to look at how we can change this idea of like attracting like. You can't change that law, but you can change how you're using that law. So I like the way that Ernest Holmes wrote about it in his book, Living the Science of Mind. He said, we're all united with an invisible force, which is creative, and we are already one with a universal mind which can do anything. We're centers within this mind, and the sum total of all our thoughts is either silently attracting good to us or repelling it from us. We can change our thinking, and in so doing, cause the law of good to act affirmatively for us instead of negatively. When Jesus said that it's done unto us as we believe, he implied that there is a power that can, will, and must react to us. This power acts as a law operating on our beliefs. Now just take a look at those last two sentences. Jesus said it's done unto us as we believe. He implied that there is a power that can, will, and must react to us. And this power acts as a law operating on our what? Beliefs. Beliefs. So let me just, start it with something really simple. I have figured out how to grieve when I want to. I'm not saying that's healthy, but I have a schedule, as you all know. I talk about my schedule all the time. And my mom passed away last month, and I can literally give myself permission to go off by myself and close my eyes and imagine my final moments with my mom before she left her body, and hold that in my mind and remember the things that I said. And with those thoughts in my mind, my body can produce tears. Now, we do that all the time, but you don't realize what's actually happening here. There is a power that is reacting to your thoughts. And then I have a really good cry, and I use up a lot of Kleenex, and then I get back to work. So I'm just offering not so much the grieving issue as I'm offering how that law works. And that every time we hold a strong enough thought, we're creating something. You think a funny enough thought, you hear a funny joke, you see something funny on TV, which is technically a thought, a processing of the mind. Boom, you're laughing. Your body is laughing. You didn't make it laugh, it just laughed by itself. No, by the power of your thought. So most of the time we're sleepwalking and using that power, which can be dangerous. It's like, don't drive while you're sleepwalking. Also, don't use the power while you're sleepwalking. I mean, really, wow. Let's put a bumper sticker on our cars, okay? Don't use the power while you're sleepwalking. And everybody's going to want to know what the power is and how they get their hands on the power, and they already have the power. Okay. So we're still creating, whether we're awake or not, and those thoughts that we're holding, whatever they are transforming, manifesting into something physical in our life. Realize that the way this all works is very simple. Even science has jumped on this bandwagon to say that you and I are vibrational beings. We would say spirit, they would say energy, and that energy is something that we send out to the world. And I know that you know what it's like to walk up to somebody and sense something about them. That's their energy that they're sending out, and that you are feeling, you're interpreting, you're reading. Sometimes when that energy goes out, we respond by resisting it. Other times we embrace it. Sometimes we get into conflict with it. Sometimes we cooperate with it. Just depends on where our energy is. Tony Robbins said this up here on the screen. He said, human beings have the awesome ability to take any experience of their lives and create a meaning that disempowers them or one that can literally save their lives. Now, did you see that? You can create a meaning. That's a thought. That's a belief. And from that, you can disempower yourself or you can create something new in your life. Now, a lot of us believe that you have to play the hand that life deals you. And what I want to offer again today is you are the dealer of your own life. You are the one that is handing out the cards. And it's the kind of thing that, even though we're not conscious of, it's building up over time in that subconscious layer we talked about a few weeks ago. If you missed that one, go back and listen to the others in this series. But, it's hard to think about, but this is where we use or misuse the power so often is in our growing up years. When we're not really aware that we can control what's happening to us. And so we're just taking things in, and our child is interpreting it, and it's sinking down into the subconscious to come back out again when needed, and even when not needed, when not appropriate. So, maybe you're a little girl that's raised in an environment where your mom is always being abused by men. And you watch that, and you feel her feelings, and it sinks in, and then you grow up into an adult, and that's long past, and you're not thinking about it anymore, but your subconscious is. It's holding thoughts. It's sending out energy. It's calling the universe to bring in more situations to be afraid of men, to resist men, to stay away from men. It's not healthy, but it's what we've solidified in our energy. You might have been a child who grew up and watched your other sibling get all the attention from your parents. And as you were watching that and you were feeling unworthy, all those unworthy ideas were sinking in and solidifying till now you're radiating at that energy. You're sending that signal out to the universe. And you suddenly, continually find yourself in situations where you feel unworthy. We have a collective consciousness that we share so that every November when we flip the calendar, we all get the flu. Because they tell us on TV, and we've solidified that idea in the human race, that wintertime is the time to get the flu. 2020 notwithstanding, set that flu aside. But the whole idea here is that we share with the human race a single consciousness, and the majority seems to rule sometimes unless you are awake to this power and how you're using it. You may have watched your parents and your grandparents and great-grandparents all die of the same thing, and so you decide, that's me, that's how I'm going out. Can't get out of it. I would just offer something that Charles and Myrtle Fillmore, our co-founders of Unity, discovered, and that is they're children of God, which means they're spiritual beings, and spiritual beings don't inherit anything from their parent, their creator, their source, God the good. There is no sickness in God. So I do think that sometimes our perfect, whole, complete spirit chooses a family to integrate with, perhaps for an opportunity based on their DNA or based on their generational dysfunction, to have an opportunity for their soul to grow and expand, but not get stuck in the suffering, not get stuck in the sickness, but to notice it and transform it. Using this law, this power, as long as we can wake up to the energy that we're sending out and put a stop on it, and instead start to allow God's good to come through us. We can change that energy. We have the power to change the energy that we're sending out to the universe. So in order to do this, I want to show you a 4F formula up here on the screen. I made it 4Fs just so it'd be easy to remember. It's focus, feelings, frequency, and freedom, hopefully. Sometimes it's a flop. But the first 3 Fs, the focus, the feeling, the frequency, are all activating the law. What you focus on activates that law of attraction, that as you give, so shall you receive. Your feelings put the law in motion. Your frequency puts the law in motion. So ultimately, then the law manifests the fourth, either that experience of freedom or that experience of flop. Now, the most important that we can focus on today, hey, it's the focus. Look at me. So let's focus on it first and realize that this focus is where your true power lies. This is where you have the ability to choose where you're putting your attention and what energy you're creating in you. You're doing it all day. Can we wake up to the fact that we even have the power of focus and start doing it consciously? And as we do that, we will have the opportunity here to create something really wonderful. But you need to be aware how often you're using your power of focus. Up here on the screen, let's take a look at a list. There's expectation. That's a form of focus. I mean, anything on this list that you can see. Every time you watch TV for any length of time, you are focused. You are marrying your energy to whatever is on TV, to whatever you're reading, to whatever you're listening to whatever you're passionate about, to whatever you're angry about, to whatever you're afraid of, to whatever goals you're setting, whatever actions you're taking. These are all forms of focus. Can you see how you're focusing a lot during the day? Every time you speak words, there's a scripture from Isaiah that talks about how my word shall not return to me empty or void. It shall accomplish that which I've sent it forth to do and succeed in its purpose. That's how powerful our focus of words can be. So understand that what you focus on, you begin to resonate with. Your energy starts to sing at the same harmony, melody, tune that your focus is resonating at. So what are you expecting? What are you thinking about? What are you resisting? What are you talking about? That is your nature of energy in the moment. That's what your focus is. And if you focus long enough, we all know what happens next. It creates a feeling. Can we go back to that slide, Cindy, the one before this one? Yeah, let's stay there for a minute. So in the feeling stage, those come up because of your focus, not because you forced yourself to feel happy or sad. That's really hard to do, to force a feeling. There's another F word. I'll fit that in next time. But instead of that, we just start to feel according to what we were focused on. And sometimes those feelings that we're having are actually contradicting what it is that we prefer in this moment. You know, when you think about the universe responding to your feelings, it's because it doesn't speak English. It doesn't care what your words are saying. It cares what meaning is behind them. It cares what feeling is generated by them. The universe reads energy, and it responds, it reciprocates with energy. So depending on what your focus is, that's the feeling that you are generating in relationship to that. And from that focus and feeling, you start to send out, like Morse code, some kind of a frequency, like the frequency on your radio dial. So every specific focus is going to have its own frequency, and that frequency could be everything from, suffering, marriage. Now, I didn't mean to say those two in a row. That was weird. Okay, so no, this is Valentine's Day, people. Come on. Yeah, it could be, your focus could be on filling my tank with gas, filling my tank with energy. It could be, what am I going to have for lunch? But whatever your focus is that creates a feeling, that's what your frequency is being sent out to the universe, and the law works with that. It now knows what to return to you. So your focus may be about getting a diamond ring. And hey, it's Valentine's Day. Maybe that'll happen today. Looking forward to getting that diamond ring today. You've been thinking about it. You can visualize it. You're feeling what it would be like to have that, and so excited for that day to come. And then it's possible, I'm just saying it's possible, that for some of us, we get a breakup instead. And that's when you go, okay, the law doesn't work every time the same way. What happened here? It does work the same way. It's just that we're not aware of the true focus, feeling, or frequency that we're sending out to the universe. What if your whole energy around getting that diamond ring is, finally, I will feel like I'm valued, I'm loved, because right now I don't. I don't feel valued. I don't feel worthy. And that is the bottom line energy that the universe is reading. You can say diamond ring all day long, but if your energy is diamond ring to make me feel worthy, I'm not worthy, that's the energy that the universe responds to. So something that Richard and Mary Alice Jaffola wrote from their book, The Quest, says, "We sometimes think one thing and manifest another because the conscious thought of the moment has not yet worked itself into the subconscious phase of mind. It's not been felt or realized. Until thoughts become a part of the feeling nature, they do not produce results in our bodies and affairs." That's what Job found out when that which he feared had come upon him. But let me tell you about something good here. This law just worked so simply recently, is in the process of working, actually. We're in the midst of the creative process right now. It is so fun. A few weeks ago, maybe even a few months ago, the board started talking about, we're online 100% of the time right now, and we have this to look at. Isn't it beautiful? It really was beautiful at never mind. So we started thinking about what we could do to spruce things up a little bit, and we started looking at stage designs, and hey, we found this one that we really liked. So not only do we have a desire to bring energy into this space, but we found a picture that our mind could latch onto, and we started thinking about it, talking about it, how we might be able to do that. And as we thought about it for weeks, we began to feel a feeling. So our focus went from just looking at the picture to starting feeling what it would be like to be living in this new space. And that feeling of excitement turned into gratitude and anticipation and joy. And from that feeling, we started sending out a frequency that started communicating not only to our congregation, but also to the universe. It was communicating what it looked like and how it would help us and what kind of fun it would bring into our life. And the next thing we knew, this is being communicated in such a way that you guys are like jumping on board, and your energy is matching our energy, and your joy is matching our joy. We're starting to feel creative together. And in that process, without even trying, really, we set a goal for 3 months. In 3 months' time, we would raise the funds that we needed. We'd find the volunteers. We'd get a project manager. We'd have all the ideas in place. That happened in a month. It happened in a month's time without us even trying. We just simply let the energy carry us. We let our energy match with the universe, and it returned to us similar energy that supported that picture, that supported that desire, because we were all in alignment, and we still are. I'll tell you how good you did by the end of the service today. And this is something that doesn't necessarily come easy to us. I think it was fun because we had a group of us and we were all holding the same thoughts. That's really helpful when you're hanging with other people that are holding the same focus. But let me show you how to do an exercise that will help to strengthen the step one of the F's focus. Up here on the screen, first of all, choose something. We wanted a stage. What do you want to create? What do you want to heal? What do you want to renew? What do you want to transform? Decide what that is. It might be your health or your finances. It might be a relationship. It might be something you've been worried about, or something you're trying to decide or you're confused about, or a huge world situation. Just what is it? What's your heart being drawn to? Choose that idea and then write a statement about it. It doesn't have to be long, just so you know what it represents. Just use a few words. Make sure the words are in the present tense and that it's not focused on what's not working or what you don't have, but it's focused on the end result. And as you get that basic statement written and you know what it is you're headed towards, then you can start to let the energy really start to develop. And it's doing things like imagining how you will be thinking differently once this happens. How will your feelings change? How will you behave differently than you're behaving right now when this actually starts to play itself out? How will life be changed for the better? And then as you use those questions, you'll start to feel feelings start to come up in you that match that. Sometimes if you're not able to get there, a starting statement might help you, like, I'm looking forward to fill in the blank. Or wouldn't it be nice if this were already done, and here's what it looked like, and here's how I was behaving. Or I like it when maybe our relationship is working well together because fill in the blank of that. This is getting you to open up your energy and start to match the finished idea of what you're holding. And another thing that you can do at this point is choose and meditate on a certain divine quality that will help you transform this situation. You know, we talk about our 12 spiritual powers as divine qualities. We each have them within us. The more that we think on them, I think upon these things. Yeah, one of our songs that will help you do that. Think on a divine quality of peace or love or wisdom, and you become it. That's the way it works. So choose a divine quality that will help you achieve this. I mean, if you're struggling with getting your body into shape or, changing your eating habits, then maybe one of your divine qualities is strength and will. You want to focus on having the strength to continue, to keep on keeping on, heading towards the divine idea. And just imagine you being a person of strength, meditating on that idea. You also want to make sure that as the feelings come up, that they're in agreement, that they're enthused about what you're working towards. If there's a feeling of withdrawal or depression or doubt about this, just know that you're sending a different message than you want to be sending out to the universe. So that's when you get to go backwards a little bit and think more about why I want this and how it might feel and what it might look like. Notice also what you're saying during the day about it, because a lot of times we have a dream and then we go off and tell everyone why we can't have it. So just notice what words you're using that contradict the energy you want to be in order to experience this desire, and use words to help you do that. Just simple words like, I'm allowing the universe to work all things together for my good today. I am in the flow of my good today. You don't need to know details, but it's about just getting your energy up. Esther Hicks would say something like, it's not really so important about how you get to the energy, even if it's just taking a nap. Even if it's just going into your room and watching funny movies all day, the point is bringing your energy into alignment with that which you're wanting to create. So realize there is nothing unwanted in your life that you cannot transform. I absolutely believe that. There is nothing unwanted in your life that you cannot transform when you understand the power of this law and your ability to consciously choose your consciousness. And what may happen is that as you change your consciousness first, the physical thing no longer needs to change. So it can work either way. You can hold an idea until you manifest something physically, but you can also hold an idea until your consciousness doesn't need it to manifest physically, because now you're seeing it from a whole different point of view. That's exciting too. But just think about this. Just imagine this awakening world, seeing every human being on the planet owning their true identity, knowing that not only do they have the power to create, but they have the power to create what they want for good and for the world around them. We can't override someone else's will, but if you think there's too much of a big, giant problem in the world that can't be resolved, I'm going to talk to you next week about why there can be. All the big, giant problems that you can think of, this is going to be a fun challenge for me to show how we can transform these big, giant problems into something of light. For now, let's take some time in the quiet. This is our chance to meditate, which I would include as part of this process for sure. That every day you get away, you sit down by yourself with the door closed and your cell phone off. Close your eyes. Let's do that right now. Let's just set everything aside. Free up your hands. Allow your feet to rest on the floor and feel your connection with this divine Mother Earth. You think it's physical, don't you? It's actually very spiritual. So let's feel our feet connecting with the earth beneath us, even if we have to imagine a little. Allow your vision to drop from your feet all the way down into the center of the earth. There's a divine power there that is holding this planet together It's holding you together. So let's allow that power of the earth beneath our feet to give us a sense of strength and stability. I cannot be moved. I am one with the power and strength of the divine. I am steady, balanced, stabilized by the strong power of this divine planet and the very presence of spirit that holds it together. My body is strengthened by the warm, loving pull of this earth beneath my feet. I feel the life of this planet and the spirit life within it enlivening me. My thoughts are alive with new energy. Even as new life awaits beneath the snow, there are new divine ideas awaiting at the center of my being. The love that's holding this planet together is holding me together. It brings order to all the cells in my body. Divine love brings harmony to all my thoughts. The love that enfolds this planet enfolds my heart and all my feelings. So my love is a joyful love. My peace is a loving peace. My creativity creates with love. My generosity gives from love. I am grounded in love. And as I think of all the good that I've received from this earth around me, I realize it is the love of God giving as my heart gratefully receives. Life, wisdom, creativity, infinite supply, all part of my communion with this planet, and all part of the divine love that holds it together. I and love and God and earth, heaven and the universe are one. So it is, and now I let it be. Amen. May this day be not just a special day of love, but just a day to awaken and remember of the presence of love that I am, that you are, and it's a chance for us to express that love in infinite ways. You have the power to hold that in consciousness and reveal it in your life. One of the ways that we do that is through our giving. And we allow this opportunity in our service so that you might have an opportunity to decide if you are receiving good from your experience with Unity and therefore want to sustain that good for yourself and as a loving being for those around you. And if so, consider how you might want to give to your Unity community today. Here on the screen is a blessing that we speak together. It's an opportunity for us to know that as we give, we are actually releasing it to do its good out into the world in infinite ways. Parker, are we ready with that? Let's say it together. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, and I am grateful. There's a couple of ways you can give today. Up on the screen in your Facebook page, on our Facebook page, there's a donate button. There's also one at our website, unityinnaperville.org. Or if you'd like to mail a check, you can mail it to our P.O. Box at Unity in Naperville. It's P.O. Box 9733, Naperville, Illinois, 60567. Thank you so much for your love.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
We have a few things that we want to share with you today about what's happening here at Unity. It's starting to get busy again, that's for sure. And if you're here for the first time, you should know that we are grateful to have your energy with us today. We can feel your energy joining with us today, and to know also that if you'd like to stay informed with what's happening here at Unity, just go to our website and get on our mailing list, and we will send you a newsletter every Tuesday that gives you a list of what's happening. There's also an event calendar at unityinnaperville.org. Right there on the homepage is where you can add your name to the mailing list, and I hope to see you again through the lens. But we have some exciting news coming up about our future reopening, and we'll get to that in the next couple of weeks. We just want to solidify a few things, and then we'll keep you posted as to when we're opening. So for now, let me share a few things that are happening. First of all, the team that makes all the events happen is the event team, and we're always looking for your input, suggestions, and even some help with organizing some events. So if you'd like to be part of that, we're having an event team meeting on Monday night, tomorrow night at 6:30. Just go to the if you want to be part of it, send an email today to admin@unityinnaperville.org, and Melody will reach out to you and let you know how to touch base with them on the Zoom event team meeting Monday night. Secondly, we're still doing lunch Tuesdays and Thursdays, enjoying each other's company. Kim Char, Cindy, a lot of fun people join them for that lunch, and it's an opportunity to just see how your week's going and feel like you're connecting with people in case you've been isolated quite a bit. So you just go to unitycommunityconnect.com, and I want you to remember that address because it's where most of our classes and events happen. unitycommunityconnect.com, and then choose the Lunch Online or Lunch Together. Yeah, Lunch Together online channel where you'll find a Zoom link where you can connect with one another. Tuesdays and Thursdays at noon. And also, I'm starting a new class on Tuesday night. It's been a while, so I hope you'll join me for this. We're going to be using a book called The Path by Lori Beth Jones. And it's going to help us learn how to create our own personal mission statement. This really is a way to wake up in consciousness to who you really are, why you're here, what your strength is, what your motivation is. It's really a purpose for being. It's not about like necessarily following a career path. It's more about who you are, and it will help you in a million different ways. But wouldn't it be nice if you had kind of a benchmark to make decisions from, so that you're always honoring your purpose or your mission for being? So we'll start that on Tuesday night at 7 o'clock. That same address, unitycommunityconnect.com. There is a classroom one. Just click on that, and then there's a Zoom link for you to touch base with us. The Crafters Circle is coming together this Friday at 6:30 at that same location in the Crafters Circle channel. So bring whatever your crafts or arts are, and you can just sit there together as a group and just share what you're doing and how you're doing it. It's a fun way to release some creative energy. And every Friday at 7 o'clock for the next couple of months, we're doing sharing circles. So if you're more of a talker instead of a creator, it's a good chance for you to share from your heart, especially for those who are kind of shy about being in large groups. So this is a chance for you to come in and get a topic to talk about, and then you'll be put in a small group with 2 or 3 other people to talk about that topic for a little while, and then you kind of change it up. So you meet new people, you share from the heart, you listen to others, give them some support. It's a beautiful way to connect with other human spiritual beings. So I hope you'll start trying that. 7 o'clock on Fridays, same place, unitycommunityconnect.com. Look for the sharing circle. And we are going to start gathering styrofoam again for recycling to honor Earth Day in April. So when we, spoiler alert, open our doors in April, we are going to invite you to bring that styrofoam into the building on April 11th and 18th. We're telling you now so you can start saving it up instead of throwing it away, because it really is damaging to that beautiful earth we were talking about, and it's not an easy way to get rid of it. So we're giving you a chance to do that if you want to do that. That will happen April 11th and 18th. Save the date for a couple new things. A watercolor brush pen class. Watercolor brush pen class. That'll be coming up on March 20th. There's details about it, supplies and things like that. So check the calendar for details, and we'll have more later. And also, I'll be doing another membership class on both March 28th, Sunday, and Saturday, April 10th. And I'll tell you more about that later, or you can read about it in our e-news. And the event calendar has everything that you want to know as far as details go. So go back to unityinnaperville.org and hit the calendar to read all that's coming up. Let me just share a couple things that are going on in our space right now. It looks a little different in here. We've got the front half of the building almost all painted. This week, we're going to start working on the sanctuary. Things are piled up everywhere. It looks a little chaotic, but oh my gosh, the progress is being made.
We call it a beautiful mess.
It is a beautiful mess. Yes, absolutely. Big, big thanks to Steve Landry and his team, and to all those who have volunteered to help us in different ways. There's still lots of need for your help, especially when we start building out this stage. So if you can help if you can pick up a 2x4 and carry it across the room, you are incredibly valuable to us. You know, if you can bring some snacks at some point, or if you can drill in a screw with an electric screwdriver. A screw driver. Why didn't they call it that? Screw, drill, skrill. Okay. Yeah, all right. So anyway, we need your help, and if you can help in little ways, we'll give you plenty of notice. We'll work with your schedule. Would you please send an email to admin@unityinnaperville.org, and Suzanne is our volunteer coordinator, and she'll help get you organized. We are also still receiving donations for this fundraiser because, as the board has talked about this and been so delighted and humbled by your generosity, we realize that we can think bigger, we can dream bigger than we allowed ourselves to dream in taking care of some other important things here at Unity. So if you haven't given yet and you want to be part of the fundraiser, you can continue to send your donations with the word stage on it, or use the stage donation form at unityinnaperville.org. Mail a check to P.O. Box 9733. And the zip is 60567. But drum roll, please. The new fundraising total is $23,151. $23,151. Look at you.
Wow.
Look at you. You are absolutely the generosity of God expressing, and we are so grateful. We're so excited. Just leave the board alone, and they'll come up with about 1 billion things to do with your funds. So thank you so much for your willingness to contribute towards this. We're excited. And I just want to remind you that if you would like to be in prayer with someone today, we have prayer chaplains who can call you today between 12:30 and 1 and pray with you individually, confidentially. So all you have to do is send an email now to prayer@unityinnaperville.org and include your phone number, and one of our chaplains will call you back between 12:30 and 1 for prayer. We missed a couple names last week that were celebrating birthdays in February, and we wanted to get their beautiful faces up here. Let's take a look and see who's... Oh, please tell me we have our faces. There we go. Woohoo! So we added Marge. We added Ron Siegel. Oh, he's being his little son. He is a little older than that picture. I know it. So happy birthday, all our February babies. Let's sing it again. Can we sing happy birthday?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear friends. Happy birthday to you. Yes, 2021 can only get better from here, right? Good life this year. I trust that for you.
Yes.
Now, we normally do a couple things. We have a closing affirmation. We have a song. We'll swap those, do those in different order. And we also normally will chat with you, which we're going to do after the service. So if you have a text or a comment you want to make, you can either text me. Do we have a phone number for that on the screen? Okay, 630-793-0993. You can send a text right now if you want to ask something about today, or make a comment of some kind, or put it in a comment box on the Facebook page or our website page. We will not be going into the Zoom chat room after the service, because we're going to stay here and tear down all of this so that we can be ready for painting this week. But if you want to reach out to me, use this text number today or later this week, and I will get back to you, okay? So what are we singing?
God is my source.
Is that not the truth of what I've been saying all day? All right, let's sing it.
God is my source.
God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. Lord is my source.
If you could just feel as enthusiastic about that all week long, your consciousness would be in connection. So here's our closing affirmation for today. Just another thought to help waken up that human self. Up here on the screen, let's say it together. As I awaken to my higher self, I fully accept my creative power. Fully accept your creative power. This can be really fun, you guys. This could be really fun. Okay, so what do we have? Are you guys good? You've done all you need to do? You sang?
We're good. Checking with the band. We're feeling good, Kitty.
Feeling good?
Feeling pretty good over here.
Okay, so then I'm just going to ask you out there if you have anything you want to share with us this morning. Anybody want to make a text call to me? I got them coming in here.
And I'll check on the Facebook, Kitty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, beautiful meditation today, Kitty. All your meditations are great, but this one especially touched me. That's from Melinda. Bless you, Melinda. Yeah, it feels good when you connect with Mother Earth. It seems odd that's, you would think that's the most physical that you can get is a planet, but I'm telling you, there's a whole lot more to that planet than just dirt. Yep.
Tina Russell Mays was asking again the name of the book. I think they gave the answer here, but you want to say again the book study?
For the class,
For the
it's
class,
called The
yeah.
Path, P-A-T-H, by Lori Beth Jones. It's definitely available on Amazon. I'm sure you can get it a lot of other places.
Oh, I see. Danette put the link up in the Facebook.
There you go.
Thank you, Danette.
Yeah. Okay.
Not a lot of comments, but I see everyone who's popped up, so I want to say good morning to Cynthia Moon, Cindy Freeman, Kelly Meinhardt, Kim Hope, Tina, of course, Deborah Whalen. Who else do we have? Lynn Pritzel, Arlene Hudson, Mary Smith, Mary Allward, Claire, Sue Rio. Of course she watches. And I think we have enough camera going to the drummer now, don't we, Sue Rio? we worked on it. Make sure you can see
That's
your
right.
husband doing his thing back there.
That is right. So here's a fun text from our board president when she's referring back to my comment about how we created this project and it just kind of took on this life. She said, I can take your story of the board's vision back one step further. I had researched church stage designs and picked out my favorite design long before I shared the website in a board meeting. And as I scrolled through the stage examples with the board in the meeting, a couple of people asked me to back up a few designs. They had focused in on the same design I had picked as my favorite. Spirit works in its best way in all of us. That is so fun, Beth. Thank you for sharing that.
Love it.
Here's a text from Karen from Colorado. Whoop, whoop. How out there in Colorado? Beautiful service today.
Hi,
Sharing
Karen.
Circle is awesome. So see,
Yes.
you can tap into the sharing circles no matter where you are in the world. That's the fun part about Zoom. The sharing circle is awesome. Love to all always. Thank you, Karen.
Can I interject there
Yeah.
too? Because I found this out on Friday when I wanted to go, but I had to work and I was going to be like half an hour late. And I checked in and it was okay that I came later. So listen, if it happens that you can make it, but it's just 15 or 20 minutes late, join anyway.
Yes.
It goes on for the full 2 hours and it's very open and loving. I dig it.
Yes, thank you for that. Somebody said, powerful service today. Thank you, thank you. FYI, 2 birthdays got missed. I sent it last week. Come on. What? I'm sorry. That could have been me. Susan Rios on February 16th, who will be doing that watercolor brush pen class. And she's out in California. Thank you, thank you for letting me know, Mary Beth. Happy birthday to Susan. And also her hubby, not Susan's husband, Mary Beth's husband. Am I confusing you yet? Michael Spear has a birthday on February 22nd. So love
Happy
to
birthday,
you, Michael.
Michael.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm
Thanks for
so
sharing
stuck.
that with me.
Is it a brush? Is it a pen? What are we talking?
Ooh, you know what? I imagine it probably, you use it like a pen, you hold it like a pen,
Right.
but it's got a little brush tip on it. I'm just guessing.
Okay.
That could be fun. I would need that with watercolors because otherwise I would be way out of control. So, highly recommend those little brush pens. Okay, anybody else
Well,
want to
hello to
text
Sue
in?
Rio. As Sue Rio says, drums. are the heartbeat of Mother Earth.
Of course they
course.
are.
That's of course. Judy Price says good morning to all. Rhonda, we shout out to you and welcome. So I just want to make sure we shout out to folks today.
Yes.
Virginia Collins, Cammie is
Hey,
watching.
Virginia.
Hi, Virginia. Hi, Cammie.
Welcome, Cammie.
Linda D is here. Ardith, is she on the bottom? I don't see it.
Why don't you read it? We'll translate.
Yeah.
It says, I never realized before that putting together some of the 12 powers with my desire for a specific personal highest good can help my hopes and dreams to manifest.
Awesome. So Artie was referring back to me saying that you can use one of your 12 spiritual powers to meditate on and become to help you manifest the physical thing, the spiritual thing, whatever it is that you're trying to create. And that is definitely how you do it. Artie is just becoming those divine qualities.
Yes.
And then, as Jesus said, when you give your attention to the kingdom, so to speak, the spiritual first, all the details will take care of themselves.
Yes.
Good stuff.
You know, I don't know if many realize, Kitty, that this year for unity.org, our parent organization, it's the year of the 12 powers.
It is.
Aren't they doing a study or encouraging churches to study that throughout the entire year?
They're letting churches choose that they'd like to do that, but you as an individual, if you just go to unity.org and look for resources, you will see that every month they're going to put up information, more details, inspirations about a particular one of the 12 powers. So make sure that you do that. We are doing our own little private thing.
We've got our 12
Yeah,
powers
we'll
thing.
be talking more about those 12 powers in the next few months. But yeah, it's definitely a great place to learn all about the 12 powers. It's
Yes.
unity.org. Okay, somebody said, thank you for the reminder of the 4 F words, particularly the beginning word of focus. Thank you for remembering focus.
Let's see, Tina writes, this unity community has been a blessing to me. Every week I get recharged and reminded of how we are never alone.
Amen. Amen to that.
Yes, Tina.
And thank you, Joan. She is asking about what chapters we're going to be covering in our book this week, The Path. And I can't remember if it's chapter 3 or 4, but it takes us all the way through the myths, M-Y-T-H-S, the myths of a mission statement. So, yeah, if you can just read that. Make sure you read the introduction, too. That's important. But this is the kind of thing where you're going to have a chance to do a lot of exercises, and many of them will be done during the week from your own home. So it's helpful to have the book to follow the instructions. But she has just given you a book full of examples and exercises and ideas, clarifications for you to really understand why you're here. I hope you do that with me. Anything else?
Let's see. Nope, that's it for...
Okay, and does anybody remember what that bumper sticker said? Don't use the power while you're sleepwalking.
Could be like a caution sign.
Yeah, caution. Yeah. We'll work on that. We'll come up with something. Thank you for remembering that. Okay, my lovies, lots of good things going on this week. Hope we can see you plug into one of them at least. Yes. UnityCommunityConnect.com is where most of the events happen. Go to the website for connection information and more details, unityinnaperville.org. And we'll see you sometime in the ethers. Love you guys.
Blessings.
Blessings.